Welcome back to Teen Challenge. This week is part 2 of 3 on songwriting. I'm Miss Corinne, and today I'm happy to come to you from the Avondale Library studio. Last week I was in my home because I wanted to use my keyboard, but today I've got my ukulele and we're going to be learning about the shape of a song. Now, if you didn't see last week's video, then I recommend that you go back and watch it. I'll put a link in the description of the video so that you can find it easily and go watch it before doing this video. Last week we learned about the building blocks of a song, and we learned about those 4 magic chords that are in so many famous songs. 1, 4, 5, and 6. Remember, if you're in the key of C, then that means your 1 chord is C. Your 4 chord is F because C, D, E, F, 4. Your 5 chord is G, and your 6 chord is A minor. Now if we wanted to change the key and play it in the key of G, G is now the 1 chord, C is the 4 chord because G, A, B, C. D is the 5 chord, and E minor is the 6 chord. But everything we're going to be doing today, we're going to do in the key of C. So let's banish the key of G and go back to our 4 chords in the key of C. Your challenge last week was to play around with chord progressions, the order in which you play the chords. I said you could do it 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 5, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, lots of different options. But now we're going to talk about the shape of a song. What is the shape of a song? Well, songs usually have a verse, right? Snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. I'm going to use yellow blocks to represent my verse. Usually we have more than 1 verse. After a verse, we usually have the chorus. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. I'm going to use red blocks to represent my chorus. And of course the chorus happens multiple times. 2, 3, 4. It's up to you as the songwriter. And then sometimes songs have another part, maybe a pre-chorus, which is a little something that comes before the chorus, or a bridge that comes later in the song and kind of has a little bit of a different feel to it. My power flurries through the air and to the ground. Some songs use the same chord progression in the verse, the chorus, and the bridge. Some keep it the same in the verse and the chorus but change it up in the bridge. Some have a different progression in the verse, in the chorus, and in the bridge. This is another one of those creative decisions that you, as the songwriter, get to make. Even if you decide to have the same 4 chords in the verse, chorus, and the bridge, they're still going to sound different. Your song isn't going to sound repetitive if you make sure that the melody in the verse, chorus, and bridge sound different. Let's start building. I think I'm going to use the same chord progression for my verse and my chorus, and then I'm going to change it up a little bit when I get to the bridge. I think I'll start with A minor and then do F, C, and G. So that's going to sound like this. When I do my bridge, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to start with C, then have G, and then A minor. I'm not even going to use F in my bridge. So it's going to sound like this. In music, we love to do things in sets of 4 magic chords, remember? So when you're deciding on your chord progressions, try to keep things in sets of 4. If you're doing all 4 of the magic chords, that's easy. But if, like me, you're choosing a chord progression that only has 3 chords in it, then try to make that into a group of 4. You can do this by playing one of them twice. So I can play C, G, A minor, A minor. You could also do it like C, G, C, G. That's 4 chords right there. It's just the same 2 over and over again. Now the rule of 4s is one of those rules that you can break. And later we're actually going to talk about how to break it and why you would want to break it. But for now, let's stick to the rules of 4. Let's talk about mood. One of the things that makes different songs sound different, even if they're using the same 4 chords, is the mood. For example, one of my favorite songwriters is Adele. And in her song Hello, she sets the mood right from the beginning. Hello, it's me. It sounds really dramatic because each chord is only played once. This is different from All of Me by John Legend. What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you're kicking me out. So since John uses that syncopated rhythm, it gives his song a lot of energy from the beginning. So we know how to set a dramatic mood. We know how to create an energetic mood. If you wanted your song to be upbeat, you could play it in a faster rhythm. I forgot to tune my ukulele. That's a little better. If you wanted to write a romantic song or something sad or thoughtful, you might want to use broken chords, which just means that you play each note of the chord one at a time, like this. I want my song to be kind of thoughtful and a little bit sad, so I'm actually going to use that broken chord technique for my verses, and then I'm gonna get a little more dramatic in the chords by doing it the Adele way. So the beginning of my song will sound something like this. And then the chorus will sound more like this. Go through my chord progression twice in the verse and twice in the chorus. I want to build intensity towards the bridge, and then I actually want to have one more chorus after the bridge. This is pretty common. So your challenge this week comes in 2 parts. The first part of your challenge is to figure out the shape of your song, your verses, your chorus, if you want a pre-chorus or a bridge. I'm gonna go verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. I'm using the same chord progression for my verse and my chorus, and then I'm changing it up a little bit in the bridge. The second part of your challenge is to choose the mood of your song. Remember, if you want something dramatic, you might try single chords. If you want something energetic, you might try syncopation. Something sad, broken chords, something upbeat and fun. Use a faster rhythm. The mood that you choose depends somewhat on the subject of your song. If you're writing a song about having a dance party with your friends, then you might want to go with upbeat or energetic. But if you're writing a sad song about how you miss your friends, then maybe you should go with those broken chords or with single chords. This is where you get to be creative. You're the songwriter. What do you want to express in your song? I'll see you guys next week on part 3, the final part of our 3-part songwriting challenge series. Next week, we're going to talk about how to express what you want to express through your song, using both the melody and the words together. So work on your challenge and come back next week as we learn how to finish writing our songs together. Thank you guys.